What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 234, and we start today's episode off with a look at the tournament tree here, seeing how the other nations are doing here in Qatar 2022, and of course we have a game here against Portugal in the quarterfinals of the World Cup. Of course, a bitter rivalry here by the two bordering countries, so Spain and Portugal taking each other on here. It's always a big rivalry between these two nations, and we start the game off pretty decent. I have found it difficult to penetrate the teams we've been playing so far in the World Cup early on, and we almost got the first goal there, but what a fantastic save by Miko, and from the resulting corner, unfortunately, Diaz de Cerrillo, trouser man, can only head the ball over the bar. But from that resulting goal kick, Miko launches it forward with his left foot, the former Liverpool goalkeeper we had, and it's won by Seno Recondo, our centre-back. Comes to Isco here, one of our players we have at Atletico Madrid, who plays the ball into Diaz de Cerrillo. Nice link-up play with Jesse Rodriguez, comes through and smashes the ball into the bottom corner. Not a very good strike, I must admit. It was quite accurate, but pretty weak. Surprised Mika let it in after making such a fantastic save just a couple of minutes before that, but even so, we got the goal. We were 1-0 up, and that was fantastic news for us. And in the 23rd minute, we play out from the back as usual, typical Spain style, typical my style. And in the 24th minute, it comes to Trouser Man once again down the right-hand side, plays it into the near post, and there is Isco, our Atletico Madrid playmaker, to make it 2-0 to Spain. So as things stood, looked like we were definitely going to be going through to the semi-finals. But in the 37th minute here, Furtado picks the ball up here and finds Andre Gomez, who comes through here and just smashed it into the bottom corner. Defending on Legendary, I don't know why, I just cannot seem to get a grip of what the opponent is going to do. You know, it seems like such a formality. They're just going to keep on stopping and turning because they always do, but even so, you can never predict when they're actually going to take the shots. But even so, in the 43rd minute here, Furtado, what an absolutely fantastic volley. That was lovely. That was right into the bottom corner past De Gea after a great cross in. Don't know where my left back was, no mark in there, but even so, Furtado equalises the score here, so Spain 2, Portugal 2. But straight from kick-off in the second half, the ball comes to Jesse Rodriguez, who goes down the left-hand side here, takes on his man and beats him for pace here. Rodriguez cuts it back to Oliver Torres. Torres comes through and just rifles the ball into the top corner. A lovely finish by Oliver Torres, and that made it 3-2. But in the 49th minute here, Portugal had a free kick. It was deflected and put over the bar, and from the resulting corner in the 50th minute, it was crossed in by De Rocha Fonte, our man that we had at Sunderland. The ball ended up being cleared off the line by our defender, but it did finish 3-2, so we're through to the semi-finals of the World Cup, and that was a very good game, I must admit. I really enjoyed playing that one. You know, some good action in there, and some really good plays. And yeah, Portugal, like, I got to say, they're probably the toughest nation I've had to play on this game when managing an international side. Because even with South Korea, we had, like, you know, when we got knocked out by Argentina in the World Cup in 2014, even that wasn't as hard as that game. That was such a really good game to play in. And even so, thank God we progressed. But we took on England. Yes, England. Oh my God, if this was live, you guys must have been really hoping that England would be winning this. But yeah, we took on England here in the semi-finals of the World Cup, and England, of course, all through this series I've been waiting for the England job to come up, and it's never come up. So I was like, this is a revenge time now. I'm going to stop England getting to the World Cup final, and I'm going to beat them with Spain. And I've said many times before, like, you know, small centre-backs, it's just not for me. And back at Liverpool, we signed a player called Isaac Wooten, and we ended up trading him to Jeju United in South Korea just because he's so small. He's a centre-back, and he's like 5'6", and you know, he's so vulnerable in the air. So in this game, I was just like, well, let's just cross the ball in. We may not have tall players in this side, but anyone can beat, you know, Isaac Wooten when it comes to pace. But even so, Jack Christie, our Atletico Madrid striker and former Sunderland striker, could beat De Gea in terms of height. I just said pace, didn't I? I mean height. But even so, Jack Christie beats De Gea in terms of height and heads the ball into the back of the net. So Christie makes it 1-1 here. But in the 12th minute, we get lucky with Thiago as the ball rebounds to him. What a great ball into Diaz de Cerrillo. Such composure there, such timing, and the ball comes to Trouser Man, who puts the ball past Jack Butland and makes it 2-1 here to Spain. And in the 20th minute, England pick the ball up here. Raheem Sterling loses out to Baliu Campeni, and Mayoral goes down the right hand side here. Nice pace from our former Sunderland man, crosses the ball in, and once again Isaac Wooten just so vulnerable in the air, and Trouser Man makes mincemeat out of him. He's just such a vulnerable centre back. You know, he's like rated like 86 on the game because he had so much potential when we had him at Liverpool. We just, you know, traded him to Jeju United, but at the end of the day, he's just too small to play centre-back, you know, so we were taking advantage of the fact he had no height, but unfortunately Jack Christie was also taking advantage of the fact that our Spanish centre-backs aren't very tall either, so Christie once again scores against us with his head. Our Atletico Madrid man was just causing us problems here for Spain, so 3-2, but in the 53rd minute we have a throw in here which Mayoral gives to Thiago. Thiago plays it back to Mayoral. Oh, I just hate the fact this guy's only got 2-star skills, but I just love how much pace he's got, and he just makes mincemeat out of his man before finding Balliu Campenny. Nice Ronaldo chop and just rifles the ball into the near post. That's poor goalkeeping from Jack Butland to let the ball go in from there, but even so, Balliu Campenny makes it 4-2 to Spain, so a ticket into the World Cup final looked like it was going to be assured, but in the 63rd minute here we tried to come through. Mayoral down the right hand side, loses out to Jack Robinson. The ball finds Craig Gibson here. Gibson chips the ball to Raheem Sterling down the left hand side. What a wonderful save by De Gea to keep the score at 4-2. Fantastic stop by De Gea, and we were still 2 goals in front. But in the 67th minute here, we give the ball away. It comes to Jack Robinson. Robinson finds Sterling. Sterling finds Jack Robinson here. Robinson ends up crossing the ball, well, you know, playing a long ball forward to Craig Gibson. And unfortunately, one of our centre-backs takes a nasty knock. And all through the tournament, we've had no injury problems. But unfortunately, Senna Recondo, one of our centre-backs, is unfortunately injured. And he is going to be out for the World Cup final. So that absolutely sucks. He's a really good centre-back. He's rated 85. And unfortunately, that broken ankle is going to rule him out for a few months. So no Recondo for the World Cup final. Doesn't really matter to me in terms of our club, because of course he doesn't play for us, but you know, he's been a pretty solid defender for us all through the World Cup, so the fact he's out for the final is pretty disappointing, really. We brought on Medina Luna, who's a good centre-back. I think he plays for Man City on this game, and he's pretty decent, but even so, I'd have preferred to keep our centre-back partnership going, but he's out for the final. But the score is still 4-2 here, but unfortunately for us, it just went from, from comfortable to pretty nervy in the final 12 minutes as Andy Evans scored here after getting to the rebounded shot, which De Gea could only parry out. But in the 88th minute, I was like, yeah, sure, we're going through to the World Cup final, no doubt. I can't see England scoring, but unfortunately in the 89th minute we just couldn't defend here, and when Craig Gibson found Sterling went 1-1 with David De Gea, and De Gea saved it. Just thought I'd leave you in suspense there. Yeah, De Gea makes the save, bails us out there, and unfortunately for England, Sterling could not score, so 4-3 the final score, and we are through to the World Cup final, which will of course be a live com, and that will be coming out on Saturday. So as always guys, a big thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave a like, and I'll see you for the World Cup final on Saturday morning or early afternoon, depending on when I can upload it. Goodbye.